But either way, looking at the defense coming out from the side of Melty, it's going to be Cabal on the Symmetra, Nico on the McCree, Bod on the Roadhog, Flippy on 76, Moonell on Reinhardt, and Deegan going to round things out here on the Mercy.
Okay, offensively, a little bit of interesting look coming out here if they do stick with it, as Too Easy is queued up on a Genji for Reunited. Unfix will take to the skies as Farah. Cruz, of course, on that Lucio. Winghaven will be playing Reinhardt. Morte on Mercy, and another off pick as Valortaja is running the offensive Winston.
Alright, so we'll see just what Reunited has up their sleeve here. I like the Farah Genji look that they're doing here, that there's no McCree coming out. Valortaja actually on the Winston, and that alone says a lot when Valortaja's been on McCree all day, every day for God knows how long. But Bod will get first kill of the game, does hook and kill Too Easy. Unfix still going to the back, looking for anything.
It's the end of it.
3 kills though to the defense, the 1 on the offense, and even if Unfix gets some stuff here, it's going to be rough to really go, and the problem is that if he gets picked off, that's just going to stagger the scene more. He gets brought to the ground by Bod, and good early defense here coming out from the side of Melty.
Bod is just crushing it on the hook so far. That early pick on Too Easy really shut it down. Of course, they could have kept going, but then Morte died immediately afterwards, so now there's a complete reset, and Cabal already has his teleporter up.
That teleporter is going down here in the back. Bod now looking for pickoffs if he's able to get them. But the offensive Reunited not coming out quite as strong as I would have thought. But they are moving right in. Valortaja leaping into the back. The Winghaven getting right onto the point. The defense though backing up a bit, not really that scared of this thus far. Unfix getting down and dirty though, is able to take out Nico to start things out. Getting into the building, landing rocket after rocket, making it a double kill as Mercy goes down, and that's going to stop the defense from getting a very vital resurrection. The offense though, they will have their res. The only thing of note here is that the teleporter is down. The offense is still fighting. Both sides in it, but here comes the barrage coming in from Unfixed, completing the triple kill. And off of that play from Unfixed, Reunited should be able to take this point.
Yeah, I really like the angle of aggression they took there and then the priority. I mean, they really prioritized that teleporter. They put 2 tanks in there and a Mercy. I think it was something I thought we were going to see more often longer ago. You send your Widow or your Mercy in with your Winston. Winston goes in alone, he gets focused down and wrecked, but with that big health pool and some heals, a Mercy can keep him alive. You can get a ton of damage done in those small areas. Really nice play there from Reunited, utilizing Winston and Mercy combo to take down the telly. Now we're in roofs.
And offensive-wise, the ultimate situation is very good. Too Easy does have Dragonblade at the ready. Winghaven has Earthshatter. A lot of ways that this next fight can go very, very much in Reunited's favor. Dragonblade coming out with the Sound Barrier. Too Easy, though, going to get knocked down by the Earthshatter. Has to back out a bit. Thus far, the fight is underway, though. 2 kills for the offense. As Nico in the back with Deadeye, looking for anything. Not going to get anything. Has to cancel it. Unfix will go down in the back, but overall, the defense not getting fully wiped out, but a lot of momentum right now for Reunited as the payload continues moving forward.
Yeah, Deegan's getting, I don't know how he stayed alive in a lot of these situations. Flippy's able to take down Too Easy, but Deegan's just been a magician, finally taken down by Valortaja in a rough spot. He did have Resurrection up too. Valortaja just punching people.
Valortaja finding his new life here on Winston, no longer on McCree, but Unfix with the barrage will take out Nico, who is being a bit of a problem there for a while. He was getting pick after pick. Unfix is going to clean things up, though, with the double kill. Rocketing the respawns as they come in. Mercy going to go down, has no prayer of getting Resurrection off. Bod will take out Unfix, but a lot of the damage has already been done here. Reunited moving forward. Very good look for them here thus far. We'll see if the defense can do anything to sell us out here from Melty. They are getting on top of the point, but then coming the Earthshatter from Winghaven knocks 2 people down. Unfix still in the top, not getting targeted at all, as Cruz of all people going to pick up the triple on Lucio. That is not something you see every day.
Yeah, apparently we're back to the days of Lucio headshotting and doing damage. That is a ton of kills there. Of course, he's just cleaning up the mess. They're still coming in to fight at the end. Nico comes in on a Tracer. I mean, the point is
now we are looking at the ultimate situation for the offense. A lot of ultimates are up, including Dragonblade. Dragonblade's so good at breaking things wide open. And Reunited is going very far up right now. The payload's still pretty far back. Valortaja doesn't care. Valortaja looking for his opportunity to leap in, and I think he just wants to set Too Easy for a good Dragonblade.
Yeah, every ultimate in the book to work with here on offense, only missing Earthshatter here. Although Valortaja does get hooked and taken out early, Flippy is onto the Reaper to deal with that Winston. Initiation coming from Melty.
Oh, the defense now moving in off the sound barrier. They just want to mop up the offense after getting that pick. Bod going to pull Unfixed down out of the sky. And now the defense going, okay, we got this. We can back up a little bit. Nico going to take out Morte. I'm not even sure how Morte was that far back. I thought the offense got everyone back out, but Morte's like, wait a second, I'm still back here. As they're moving forward again, Nico is like, oh, I'm going to go back to the payload, but REUNITED going to full reset here, and not a bad look coming out from Melty to buy themselves at least a little bit more valuable time. But
yeah, I mean,
looking at the alts here for both teams, the storm is definitely coming.
As Bod goes, so does Melty, though. They've done their best when he is hitting his hooks, and he hit another couple clutch there.
Offensive sound barriers out. Unfixed now going to deep in, looking for the barrage. Will drop the barrage. Takes out Bod. Meanwhile, Too Easy was in here on the Dragon Blade. Got the double kill. A full effort coming in from REUNITED. There will be the defensive resurrection, but overall, REUNITED definitely getting the better of this exchange thus far. Keeping the momentum. Reinhardt swing wildly. Defense trying to make something out of nothing here. Bod on top of the cart. But here comes the offensive resurrection. REUNITED should be able to push things back.
Yeah, pretty nice patience there by Morte as he was just floating, waiting for a time to use that resurrection, knowing they had the advantage there. Pushed pretty far forward here. Balotage is still going to get out. Now the tanks are in decent position. Bod is going to have the only ultimate up for defense here, and it's going to be up to him to whole hog.
Look at Winghaven. Winghaven's a beautiful opportunity. Knocks down 3 with the Earth Shatter. Could this be the dagger for REUNITED as they try and push this cart the last little bit here against Melty? Winghaven, though, definitely setting up a good opportunity. Getting the double kill as well. Treating Mercy to his hammer. And now the defense on their last life. The sound barrier coming up, and they should be able to finish this out.
Well, you mentioned a storm was coming, and REUNITED won that storm pretty decisively in the battle of the who can hit Q better, because they got about 5 kills there, saved their resurrection until they needed it later, were able to win again off that resurrection and cruise with the rare Lucio play of the game. It's not even his 3K.
Yeah, it's not even the 3. I was expecting a 3 kill, but Cruz definitely finding a way to lay in the damage as Lucio. And that's where he got to play the game from killing the McCree at the very end.
Well, as I mentioned it, Bod was the highlight there for Melty. Early on that defense, he hit a couple really early hooks to really slow them down on that first push. When they stabilized in the warehouse, he was him hitting hooks again. He had a really nice Roadhog game. 6:14, the time set by REUNITED.
Alrighty, so we are going to be switching sides here. Melty going to have to beat that 6:14 time, and it is a beatable time, but it's also a very defensible time as well. I think REUNITED can feel pretty good about this going forward. I will say Melty did have good points to start out the game. They had a good early defense on point A that gave REUNITED some trouble. They did have points where they came back, but overall, between the two teams, I'd definitely say REUNITED came out a bit stronger.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, but it wasn't like a roll through Hollywood. Yeah, Melty's definitely put up a good force. They just... I don't know if really they're practiced as REUNITED. I think the battle of the ultimates that you predicted was coming was a good example of that the combinations just went a little stronger for REUNITED there. So Melty, yes, they are a practiced roster, but I don't know if they've really been scrimming as hard as REUNITED is. However, I don't know if anyone scrims as hard as REUNITED does, so it's not saying a ton.
No, REUNITED, when they are on, they are grinders. They get in on the game. They put in so much time, both on pubbing and for scrimming. Now, certainly other teams are starting to catch up a little bit, and REUNITED did have a period where I think Too Easy had university exams plus other things that stopped them from scrimming as much as they wanted, but REUNITED has definitely gotten back on the scrim schedule, and results have been paying off for them.
Yeah, defensively, we are going to see REUNITED come out with a pretty standard defense. Morte is going to be on the Mercy. Cruz actually going to stay on that Lucio. No Symmetra for them. Too Easy will be on the McCree, but that's because Balotage is opting for the defensive Soldier 76. Unfixed on Pharah, and Winghaven solo tanking on Reinhardt. A lot of damage coming out here.
A lot of damage coming out indeed, and take a look here at the offense coming out from the side Melty. It's going to be D-Gun on the Mercy, Cabal on the Lucio, Bod on Winston, Flippy on the Reaper, Nico on the Genji, and Munel on a D.Va. So we've been seeing a lot more D.Va here on the offense to mixed results on multiple teams, and certainly Genji coming back into play. And thinking back to Nico, I really think of him as a Genji and Reaper player. Yeah. So we saw him to begin with, and getting a little bit back to his roots. So they're not wasting any time. They get right on the point, but the D.Va mech already in a little bit of trouble as Unfixed, able to take out Nico to start out the game. Looking for the midair on the Mercy, will take out Mercy with that direct rocket. And even though he goes down in the end, REUNITED bending just a little bit certainly not breaking.
Yeah, I was gonna mention. I'm just gonna be curious how D-Gun is living through some of these situations, because last game he did the same thing. He's following people into really terrible spots and just floating in the air. Finally
What
punished.
world are we on right now where Too Easy is on McCree and not Voltage, though? I understand that Soldier is also a very hit scan dependent hero, but what?
Yeah.
Voltage was almost always on the McCree.
It is a little surprising, but I mean, probably just a better 76 overall.
Either way, now the offense for Melty trying to get through here on this next point. They're not all going in together, and this could absolutely cost them if they don't get the first pick. We'll see if it works out, but Reinhardt that deep into the back, no one near him. REUNITED should be able to just collapse on this and deal with it as need be, but we do have Flippy on that offensive Widow, able to break things open, takes out Voltaja, looking for more. Widowmaker still the X factor at times when played, and aided by Nico, Melty is able to get onto this point.
Yeah, pretty surprising there. Of course, the resurrection was not up for them. I mean, Morte did die, unable to get that off. They weren't running a Symmetra, so unable to reinforce. Kind of just know that if they lost that first fight, that was going to be it. They're going to be in really good position here on defense, though, as they do take the slow ride elevator up to the top. They're going to hold second roof, and they have a ton of ults to work with.
Yeah, they have the Tac Visor up, they have the Barrage up, they have Deadeye. Look at Flippy, though. Flippy looking for the pickoffs, trying to make Widow still work here over the top. Gets pushed off a little bit, but headshots on Widow are still incredibly deadly if you're able to land them, and that's one way of taking a Pharah out of the air. The defense, though, hiding behind Reinhardt and looking unfixed. Right behind her, ready to drop the Barrage at a moment's notice. And this is going to be hard for Melty to get.
Yep, Bod goes in alone up here. I'm surprised if he lives through this.
Oh, Nico able to take out Unfixed in the end. So 5v5 going on. The barrage is not going to be underway as Nico with the Deadeye gets the triple kill. McCree not dead yet, making the Cowboy work, making it a quad kill. Trying to shoot Pharah out of the sky. Easier said than done when she has that sound barrier, but overall, Nico really coming in for Melty here, and Melty's going to keep this payload moving.
Yeah, and more importantly, they forced out two defensive ultimates towards the end. There was a sound barrier and a barrage that got little to no value.
Winston leaping on the Unfix. Unfix having to run for his life. Is feeling the healing beat, though, so will survive the Winston onslaught. Not the worst look for Melty, although the biggest problem for them right now, they only have about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, and that means they can't really get stopped from here on out. They really want to win this with any time remaining.
Yeah, I mean, despite winning that fight, they didn't win it decisively enough, as, you know, they did use a couple ultimates to reunite at the end, and maybe they just stalled it out. I think they'd both rather have Barrage and Sound Barrier now, but it was enough to really kind of prolong the fights. So now we have another initiation as Bod takes the first rooftop, gives his life for his Valataja cleans him up.
Deadeye coming in over the top from Too Easy. Too Easy looking for those happy little skulls. Will he get it? Might just crack the shield of Moonell instead, and Moonell going to go down, so
yeah,
getting a little bit of value from the Deadeye.
Yeah, both tanks down. That should end this push for the time being. Only a couple minutes left to finish out the map for Melty.
And for Melty, I mean, time is just slipping away. They only have 2.5 minutes. They need to get through here in this next push, or they're not going to have time for the last. Nico right now is getting in, is able to take out Too Easy. Deadeye on the menu. Will it connect? The skulls are lighting up. Doesn't quite get as much as he wants, but still Flippy able to take out Morte in the back. There will be no res coming out for REUNITED now, but Unfixed over the top with the barrage gets rid of the problem, and Nico makes it a double kill in the end. The resurrection is going to come up from D-Gun as well as the sound barrier. Real beta 1 shenanigans coming out from the side of Melty. But now they just have time issues as Earthshatter comes in from Winghaven. Unfixed with a little bit of follow-up over the top, making it a triple kill.
Yeah, that's a lot of bit of follow-up. Triple kill Too Easy comes into a full team wipe. That probably spells the map for REUNITED. How did they not win that fight after they resurrected? There was no resurrection available for REUNITED. Morte wasn't even close to it. They brought everyone back to life, and then Unfixed just cleaned them up yet again. He's the problem. They need to figure him out.
Well, I don't think they have the time to figure it out. They only have a minute and a half left here. We do see Flippy with the Dragon Blade. He's going to get taken out by Too Easy. As Unfixed now just leisurely shooting at whatever he wants to shoot at. And for REUNITED here, even if they lose this next fight, so unless they delay a little bit, they will be able to win this game. Melty is just out of time at this point.
Yeah, really only a minute left to finish the map, and it's not going to matter. They're not going to be able to get this push here for the time being. They are now trickling in, only 2 coming in through the hallway. McCree does pick up a kill. That's Nico in the back line, takes down Winghaven. Flippy's just annihilated.
For the hills.
I mean, Nico in the double kill right now. Nico definitely has been left clicking his way and getting Melty some good value here, but just not enough. With only 40 seconds remaining, mathematically, I think it's still possible, but super unlikely that gets in. It's Unfixed exploding yet again, getting the triple kill before dying to his own rockets as someone got in his face, but GG being called by Melty. Map number 1 will be going to Reunited. Melty definitely have some good looks there. Nico certainly giving McCree a little bit of style and flash, but just not enough to get through this Reunited defense.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I'm a big fan of saying, what's the problem? You have to solve this problem. Just too many problems to solve, really, for Reunited. I mean, if, you know, it was Valotaja on the 76 doing a ton of damage from the roof. If you focus him, you're going to get rocked by Unfixed, who had a great game. Too Easy did some work as well on his own McCree. Then you resurrect people into Winghaven's Earthshatter. They just all had staggered ultimates, and it was just too much for Melty to deal with.
No, absolutely. So we're going to be waiting here for the next map. Of course, in the map pool, Kings Row and Nimbani. If Melty is playing things right, they will go to Kings Row, and that is exactly where we will be going.
Well, Kings Row is a map that I remember Melty on as a very good defensive team on Kings Row first. We'll see if they still have that in them. There was some talk in chat that Valotaja was playing Soldier 76 because he was only good on right-clicking as McCree. I can say that is the opposite of the truth. Valotaja. It
is a funny comparison to make because you have the entire no brain, no aim Winston main, but Valotaja, going all the way back to any games I've seen him in, even before Overwatch, he is one of the best hit scan aimers around, period.
Right.
Have no fear, his McCree is very good at left clicking people.
Soldier 76's damage output is much more dependent on actual aim than McCree's, wouldn't you say? I mean, McCree's right.
76 is probably one of the, and this is, let me just set this up, by the way.
Yeah.
When people look at Overwatch and they look at things, heroes that are hard and all the rest, 76 gets passed over as people go, oh, he's the easy hero. He's the COD hero. He's the hero that just, you know, holds down left click, very simple kit. It's not that way in the high end. He is one of the heroes that has some of the most demanding tracking aim in the entire game, as well as a high skill cap in terms of landing good helix rockets as well. So at the very high end, he's actually one of the very hardest heroes to play at a competent level at the highest levels of competition gameplay.
Right. So Valotaja is on 76 because it is a harder hit scan hero to play more consistently, and Valotaja is a hit scan god, is what you're saying.
Yes.
All right. Just wanted to clear that up for chat. I know that because we've had this conversation several times. But yeah, that is definitely why that happened there. And we'll see if Melty can bring this to a game 3, as they will be on defense first on Kings Row. They will be running a Symmetra, it seems. I'll wait a moment just to see if that is absolutely the case. And it looks like yes.
I mean, what could be more classic than Melty running a Symmetra here on Kings Row, going all the way back into the day where there was a point where Symmetra, even in her 50 shield glory, was not used by a whole lot of teams. Melty was using her first. I'm not going to call it revolutionary in the sense that, you know, a lot of people, okay, run Symmetra on defense. A lot of it makes sense.
Right.
But they were still one of the teams to really run it when other teams were experimenting with different looks.
So. Although the difference is Baud used to be the one running it, but it is now Cabal now. D-Gun will be running the Mercy. Nico will play the McCree. Flippy on a defensive Pharah. Baud, of course, is not running that Symmetra because he's had a great game on Roadhog, and he's back on that. And Moon L will round out the lineup on sturdy old Reinhardt.
Meanwhile, take a look here at the offense coming out from the Reunited side. Widowmaker might be making a grand appearance. Too Easy will be on the Widow unless he switches. Morte on the Mercy, Unfixed on Genji, Winghaven on the Reinhardt, Cruz on the Zarya, and Valotaja going to round things out here on the 76.
So defensive Pharah is interesting. We'll see if that works out for him. They are running a solo support. I mean, Symmetra's not a support, so a lot is going to fall on D-Gun to keep everyone alive here. Ooh.
Cabal able to take out Cruz immediately. That's going to build a lot towards the teleporter. It's going to slow down Reunited as they try and set up here. But Cabal going to get taken out by Too Easy. Widowmaker still deadly if you can land the required headshots. And now that's going to slow down the teleporter a whole lot. And Reunited has a chance as they can go in here 6v5. If they get one more pick off from Too Easy, that could be all they need to take this point very quickly. Valotaja will take out Flippy, and now 6v4. Reunited can just swarm in here.
Yeah, the offensive 76 is something we've seen on Kings lately, and when you're running that 76, you want him in the position he's exactly in now, above and behind the enemy team. There's going to be no way they can reinforce this. Nico's doing his
really
best.
Good for United right now. Nico right now trying to put the team on his back. The defense is starting to get back onto the point, but REUNITED certainly with a lot of momentum in their favor, a lot of positioning in their favor. And Nico fighting Zarya, and that's one thing you don't want to do as a McCree right now. Zarya versus McCree is absolutely terrible for the McCree. It was not even great pre-patch, and Crew's just gonna melt Nico's face off.
Just absolutely a bloodbath down here. It has equalized to a certain extent. It's 3v3 now, 5v3 in favor of the defense. Cabal comes in, takes down Winghaven. They're going to stabilize this Melty.
Yeah, I'm surprised Melty is able to stabilize. It's a very good look from REUNITED. They got a lot of what they needed, in part because of the picks from Too Easy and Voltaja, but at the end they were able to get back. But the pressure is still being applied as Unfix takes out Bod pretty early on here. There is a teleporter. The teleporter will get Melty back into position a little bit sooner here, but REUNITED still applying the pressure, and the attack visor flank from Voltaja is about to happen. Here it is. He's looking for any kill he can get. The defense has to move around, take LOS cover, but they're not able to do that as well as they would want. And getting pretty bloody right now between both teams.
Justice reigns from above.
Unfix does get a couple kills. Cabal flipping back, actually. Here comes the resurrection.
Both teams getting to it. Justice coming down for both teams. There is a Grouts on Surge pulling two members of Melty inside, but Melty weathering the storm. All in all, only two members of REUNITED back up compared to three on the defense. Both teams very bloodied here, and the offense, even if they're getting a little bit closer.
Too Easy still alive back here. The problem really is that Morte is kind of alive in the back lines. If he gets picked off late, they're in trouble. He needs to find a way out.
But Too Easy almost picking out the Mercy there. Had a good opportunity.
Yep,
McCree just gonna jump his way in. And this is where if Widow's not able to get the headshots, it's pretty rough. Still though, Cruz and Voltaja on the point, able to pick off a kill each. The offense still with a much bigger presence on the point. And REUNITED should be able to get the payload moving.
No, this push is absolutely because what Too Easy did a minute ago. He stayed alive as Widow. He got to the backlines, dealt with the teleporter, and then was able to continuously get kills. Not only was he doing that, but it distracted them from noticing that Morte was in the backline all alone on Mercy. He was able to stay alive and hide, get some pistol damage done until his team came back and able to get out alive. Too Easy carried that last push. Now he switches it up off the Widow and is on to Genji.
Yeah, and Genji, I think, is the hero you're going to see more and more, especially when teams aren't running as much in the way of McCree. But Too Easy actually deciding to switch up again. Will be going on to the Reaper. And ult-wise, this is not the worst for REUNITED. They do have a lot of ults up here that they can leverage to their advantage. Attack visor coming out from Voltaja was looking to take out Flippy over the top. Unfix is going to take care of it for him instead. And REUNITED now with the 3-kill advantage moving forward. Mercy going to undo a little bit of that. Still won't be able to kill or res the Pharah in the back. And REUNITED can still be very aggressive as they push forward here.
Morte, though, you've got to watch your right flank. All he had to do to make sure that they won this fight was to keep himself alive. Because they had so many kills and they forced out that res early, they're going to win this fight regardless, but Morte can't die like that just looking at a wall.
No, Morte dying was a big deal there for REUNITED, or at least it could have been if Unfix did not come down, get a good barrage, get the follow-up rocket on the Roadhog to take him out, and now the defense won't even be able to get here in time to stop REUNITED from just rolling to this next checkpoint.
Yeah, it's been all momentum for them so far. Too Easy has had a good game on Widow so far. He's going to try to continue it as this Reaper, but they need to find something to stop this bleeding.
Oh, here's a barrage from Flippy. Flippy was trying to set them up, and Voltaja saying absolutely not, hits the Helix rocket. You see a little bit of an aggro charge coming out here from Munel. Munel going to get punished. Resurrection again, bring up those fallen heroes, and now REUNITED has an opportunity. They're moving forward. D-Gun not able to go in and get a res, and the attack visor mowing people down. Unfixed with the follow-up. And REUNITED is going to be able to get this payload almost to the end before the defense can respond.
It's just about getting value out of their ultimates, and it's kind of similar to one of those, very first fights we saw with Melty too, just not getting the supreme value out of the ultimates that they need. They wasted an Earth Shatter, they wasted a Barrage, like they're just not getting as much as REUNITED's
There's
getting.
the Graviton, pulls in 3 members of Melty. Will this be it? How will they respond? 3 kills following up for REUNITED, but look at the res coming up from D-Gun. The defense not done just yet. Nico will be brought back to life. Nico's been such a big part here of the Melty defense, but he is going to get melted down by Cruz in the end. REUNITED not being deterred by this resurrection. The defensive sound bearer is up. The offensive res is up. REUNITED smells blood in the water. They want fishes out now, but the defense doing their best to try and hang on here.
Yeah, Mona Cabal with a nice kill towards the end there. Nice Earth Shatter, though, should be able to clean this up. Nico does get wiped up at the end there as well. That is a finished map for REUNITED. It was just the difference of Unfix getting 3 kills on his barrage, and then Flippy getting 1, and Earthshedder knocking down 3 for Winghaven and 1 for Moonell. Just across the entire game, that's the value.
This is right towards the end. That was that Graviton that helped break things open. And this is where it's going to be so hard to recover as a defense. Even with that resurrection coming from D-Gun, the fall from Too Easy and the rest of the Reunited squad just was able to keep it in check. And finally, a time of 5:46 is set. And again, this is a beatable time on Kings Row, but Melty has a lot of work cut out for them here.
Yeah, Unfix with a pretty godly number of 51 direct hit rockets. 30% of his total rockets fired. It's a pretty solid game. So the defense held pretty decent early on. Again, they just could not clean up Too Easy on his Widow, and he was able to just stay alive in that fight much longer than he should have. They had no answer for higher ground kind of heroes, as you saw Volataja got in there early as 76 as well. So a tough time to beat. We'll see if they run any kind of interesting kind of barrage composition to try to beat 546. You can play standard and beat this time. We'll see what Melty has in store.
No, definitely. But also, let's not underrate the Reunited defense. We've seen Reunited have some very good point A defenses here in the past, and that's going to be the struggle here for Melty, is just to get through that pretty quickly. I think if Melty wants to beat this time, they need to get through point A no later than about push 2, I would say. If it lasts too much longer beyond that, it's going to be very difficult for them to do the streets phase and final point in time to really get through.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Defensively, they are going to be running a Symmetra of their own on Kings Row first defense. That is going to be played by Cruz. Morte right now is just speed boosting him out as Lucio. As I mentioned, Morte will come up on the Mercy. Balotaja is definitely favoring the 76, sticks on it as well. Too Easy for a moment was on McCree, but he'll be playing Roadhog. Unfixed on the defensive Junkrat, and Winghaven, of course, on old Reinhardt.
Meanwhile, take a look here at the offense as Melty sets up. It's going to be D-Gun on the Mercy, Cabal on the Lucio, Flippy, you guessed it right, will be on Hanzo, Moonell on the Reinhardt, Bod on the Genji, and Nico on the McCree. So Nico still staying true to his McCree roots, and we'll see if Flippy's Hanzo has what it takes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, if you can get some good damage early on, a Dragon is something that can really crack a first defense because it's so dependent on the Reinhardt shields. A lot of times, the team will just throw everything they have at the shield to try to crack it, but if you have a Dragon that goes through it, it's big help as well. They're also going to run an offensive Zarya here at the last second, too. Moonell taking
I do like the Zarya pick. Zarya, I mean, it's hard to go wrong with Zarya, especially in one hero limit meta.
Yep. Love me some Zarya.
So look at how quickly Melty is going through here. There's definitely a sense of urgency. Scatter Arrow will go into Roadhog. He's going to be able to heal that up in a moment. And this is where Flippy just has a sort of hope that one of these Hanzo logs goes forward and gets a headshot. Easier said than done when a team is positioning pretty well. We'll see if that thing's going his way.
Nico with a really nice play, aggressively rolls onto Volataja and takes him out the fan the hammer. He does eventually get taken out by Too Easy, but I love the angle he took there.
That wasn't bad, but look at this. Unfixed already has the tire charged up. The tire gonna try and be a little bit of razzle-dazzle, move around the side. Runs into Flippy, but Flippy gonna get saved by the Zarya shield. All that tire accomplished was giving Zarya even more energy. Flippy is able to take out Unfixed. Now Flippy on the double kill, looking for a little bit more. Dragon Strike is at the ready as well, so this Hanzo being played by Flippy really starting to get some work done, as Melty setting a decent time here thus far.
Yeah, and for the last minute, they just took Volataja completely out of this fight. Nico prioritized him early as he tried to reinforce. Flippy was able to hit him with an arrow and crush him too. They actually pushed really forward on the back lines. Nico dove him again to make sure Volataja is still out of this fight. They've identified who they want to pick on.
This could be a huge Dragon Strike. They're all clumped up in the corridor. If the offense Melty just leaps in with this Dragon Strike, I could see this getting a kill or two.
Do you wait?
And if the Dragon Strike gets a kill or two, that should be a one fight.
Do you wait
we'll
for
have to
Graviton?
see, but that is absolutely what Flippy is waiting for here.
You wait for Graviton though, right? It's at 86.
Yeah, I think at this point you do wait for Graviton.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Excited. They have almost
Graviton, Dragon Strike, you don't see it all that often, but it is one of the bigger wombo combos in the game. Flippy, though, going to have to hold on a little bit, waiting for Bod to get that vital energy up. And he's close. I mean, 85 energy. He's going to have the Graviton up. The Graviton is up. Will the wombo combo be on the menu? D-Gun went down pretty quickly in this fight. They will have no res. They might be better served just hanging on to it, at least for now.
You know, what's going to be crucial in that, too, is to try to pick up Morte in part of that combo that they're going for. Everyone with their ultimate up now on offense, but if you let Morte live, then it's all for naught, really.
All right, so the offense is going to be setting up here. Bod looking for that golden opportunity. Flippy looking to follow up as Flippy taking out a Fixer Land. Will the Graviton be coming out? The Graviton is coming out. The Dragon Strike is on the way. Will the Dragon be sated? Flippy not getting the direct kills, but Nico and Munel able to get in there, getting the cleanup. 3 kills here for the offense. Good enough.
Yeah.
I was hoping for the Hanzo to get all the kill credit. Just wasn't going to happen. But in the end, if everyone's dead, does it really matter?
Good enough. They had to do it there, too, and they really need to take this next point. That kill on Flippy actually really hurts. They only have about 2.5 minutes left to finish out the map. A little more than that, but not much.
Yeah, it's about 2:45 by my timer, but Unfixed now does have the barrage. He's going to be able to go in over the top and set up their team entirely. He's moving forward, looking for his opportunity. The attacker is moving back pretty smartly here, but now with the Sound Bearer, they're moving forward. But here's the barrage, catching Cabal pretty roughly, getting Munel as well, making for the double kill. And with Lucian Reinhardt down, the offense just needs to back up. They're not going to get what they want off this. Bod dying in the back.
Well,
they do have the resurrection, but this is still pretty rough. Sound Bearer coming out, Flippy just getting juggled in the back by Unfixed. Unfixed putting the team on his back right now as Farah getting everything done that he needs to. As now 4 extra kills for United, they are going to send Melty right back to the starting point. Now time-wise, with about under 2 minutes left to go, it's not possible for Melty to come back, but they have to have everything go right from them from this point forward.
Yeah, they have to win this next fight for sure. That's how you start. I think they got a little too cute there. They sent Ba around in this weird flank. It almost opened up a lot of space for them as the Resurrection came in on the card, but Reunited was able to react on time after they cleaned up Bod. I think you can't really be trying to get cute against Reunited. Yes, it's going to go standard. They're going to come around the backside, though, like this.
They're going to run right into Voltage's attack visor, though Voltage was able to track down D-Gun, denying the Resurrection, getting the double kill. And this push might be over before it even begins. Unfixed and Too Easy getting some kills in the back. Moonhell left on the cart without a prayer, without a hope. The barrage is absolute overkill. I think the reason for that is Reunited knows that they should have this one now, with only 1:12 remaining. Mathematically, while it might be possible, it would require Reunited to effectively go AFK for Melty to win this at this point.
Yeah, just praying for that disconnect. I will say this, though, and even though it does look like Reunited is going to take this, Melty has looked better than I actually expected them to look. They look like they could win this map, and if a couple things go differently for them here or there, they could be on the level of some of these top teams.
No, I mean, this has not been a terrible showing for Melty, but certainly Reunited a little bit far above. Of course, I say that right after Nico totally sort of whiffed Death Blossom.
But I mean,
Voltage coming in over the top of the attack visor, but this is desperation times for Melty here anyways. Time-wise, it is now impossible for them to finish out the map.
But that is just part of, like, it does look like they're a little rusty as far as just ultimates going. They're not getting the value out of their ultimates. Even that Wombo combo, it looked like the Dragon almost missed that Graviton. It was, like, that close to missing a Graviton surge. So if they can just clean up and just kind of fix the details on some of their fights, I think they'd be in a lot better position.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's potential here for Melty, but in the end, Reunited will be standing strong over them. They will be going on to face the winners of Creation versus Graviton Surge in our GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly Grand Finals.
Yeah, no results from that one just yet, but as we expected, Melty has run through their side, or Reunited has run through their side of the bracket, including against Melty. It's good to see Melty back in the scene, though. I think like they need a little more practice. They looked rusty a little bit, which is not to be, not too surprising, to be honest. And no shame losing in Reunited. To be able to even hang with Reunited is something most people on the planet can't do. So Reunited will be moving on to the finals. We await the winner of Creation versus Graviton Surge. Either one of those will have a monumental task ahead of them as Reunited remains the favorite in this bracket.